Hola, ¿cómo estás? Welcome to Jason Bites Back, episode numero 51. If you're not familiar with this series on my channel, this is the video that I go back and answer or respond to questions from the last month. So take this moment to kick back, open up that fresh beer, and enjoy the ride. Hello YouTube and welcome to Jason Bites Back. Today's video is going to be a little interesting and special for me because I get to introduce a new member to my family. Not right now, however. It will be later in this video. I would like to take this moment to show my appreciation for all of my Patreon subscribers, specifically those who pay $5 to $10 a month to get their names listed at the end of this video. So without further ado, let's jump right into the questions. The first question is from, I assume, a gentleman named Darren. Says, does it require you to reprogram all of the original remotes? Now, this is in relation to installing the MyQ Smart Home Garage Door Opener. Well, Darren, to answer your question is probably not. With the MyQ device specifically, you are just adding a new remote, and unless you do something to accidentally clear all of your old remotes, you will probably not have to reprogram every remote that you have. Now, I still use this garage door opener. However, I also use a Nitrous garage door opener. Just in case one fails, I have another one as a backup. Personally, I would recommend something that's hardwired into your garage door opener, just in case you have any kind of wireless issues or maybe somebody hit the lock button on your garage door opener on your wall. Having something that's hardwired into it and runs off of Wi-Fi, assuming that connection still works, will give you a little bit better response time. Also, the MyQ is slightly annoying when you go to close the garage door because it beeps forever instead of just closing it. The next question is from Darth Trader. He or she says, how much would I likely have to spend to get enough power to run a couple AC window units, a gaming PC with an EVGA, NVIDIA RTX 3070, lights, dishwasher, washer, and dryer, and stream Netflix through an Xbox on a 70-inch 4K Vizio TV? I want additional storage for cloudy days as well. Well, Darth Trader, I would like to say subtle, but nice flex. Assuming this question is real and you're not just looking for a platform to brag, I would say that you are definitely outgrowing a little battery pack. When it comes to running this much stuff, you're going to need something like a Tesla Powerwall or 3. The little power packs that I usually review on this channel are for small emergency purposes only. You can run things like your refrigerator for a few hours, maybe some TVs, things like that, but they're not going to last you for a long time, at least not without any power input. When you complement those solar generators with a solar panel or a few solar panels, that's when you have a little bit of sustainability, but you're not going to be running your washer, your dryer, your TV, your air conditioning units all off of those batteries. If you do not want to spend the insane amount of money you would need to get a Tesla Powerwall or 3, then I would probably look at something like a whole home generator. Those are relatively cheap, albeit louder, but they do provide quite a bit of power and would possibly sustain your needs. Thank you, Darth Trader, for your somewhat serious question. Next question is from Dream State. I like it. Who else is getting a full-blown solar independence obsession from these videos? Well, Dream State, yes, you are absolutely correct. I am slowly but surely falling down the rabbit hole of having a full home battery backup with solar panels. There are quite a few things keeping me from achieving this right now. The first thing is really I'm going through a divorce, so expenses are kind of high at the moment. However, once all that is settled, there is still the cost of getting a Tesla Powerwall or something equivalent, getting solar panels installed on the roof, which would probably, if I were going to do this, put a new roof on just to make sure that it doesn't give out first, and then I have to go twice the work in order to get a roof replaced. Paying a professional electrician to come through and get everything installed and make sure I don't burn down my house, which is kind of outside the box for me. And the major question of I'm in Kansas, so how safe is it to have glass solar panels on my roof when we are known to get hail and 70, 80 mile an hour wind all the time? But as I stated before, solar panels, batteries, those are not the only options. I would also like to get something like a full home generator, if my HOA would allow the noise in an emergency case. I do definitely enjoy the idea of a whole home battery backup. I love the idea of a Tesla Powerwall charging during the day and really not relying on the grid as much. I don't know why, but that is something that I foresee in my future. The next question is from Man of Many Trades, Master of None. He says, I saw you on Watch JR Go and you drag racing and didn't upload any content. Really? WTF. Us members are going to have to talk about this because you making another channel for car stuff would be cool. By the way, you can do better than 13.3. Yes, I can. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, you probably don't know what he's talking about. Basically, I went to the track with my Mustang. I also tried to be sneaky and beat a Corvette of somebody I work with Nitrous. I failed miserably. The best time I ran was 13.3, and the only reason why is I cannot drive very well. It really comes down to shifting. I was only able to make a few passes that night, and every time I made a pass, I either had an issue with dropping the clutch too fast, burning out first gear, not being able to get into third gear, or just straight up missing fourth gear. It is something that needs practice, and I installed a Nitrous kit in like 2.5 hours while I was at work, so I had a button and I was trying to shift at the same time. It's a really long story. The point is I didn't upload any video covering this to the public because, well, people seem to really hate anytime I deviate from anything tech. And even though I didn't upload anything to the public, I did upload it to my $10 Patreon video. I did showcase some of the racing that I did. I didn't get a ton of footage because I was more focused on trying to improve my time because I was terribly, terribly let down with myself. I mean, how depressing is it to install Nitrous on your Mustang that could already probably run 12.5s stock, but you can't break 13.3 and you cheated. So, yeah, it took a lot for that to sink in for me. Stop. But hey, the whole experience was humbling. Hi. Next question is from Big Spork. He said, what Plex client do you use on your TV in the garage? Well, Big Spoon, I just downloaded the Plex app on the TV itself. It's absolutely horribly slow, but in the very limited times that I actually use my garage to do something extended and I just want to watch Stargate or Star Trek or something as background noise, it kind of does what it needs to do. And I know all of this is kind of weird because I have probably about 6 or 7 Plex clients sitting in the server room in the box. I'm just not using them. Next question is from Doug Cube. Doug said, oh my God, he should have taken it outside to dust and wear a mask to avoid inhaling that crap. Well, Doug, I just want to say, first of all, there was no crap in my computer. If there was crap, it would have stunk, and it did not stink. What you actually saw coming from the computer was a mixture of dirt that was in the air that settled inside the computer and pieces of my flesh that I shed as I walk around and settled in the computer. Second off, yes, I absolutely should have taken it outside and dusted it. I was not thinking about that when I wanted to set up the camera to get the B-roll of me cleaning it out. I instantly regretted my decision, and you're absolutely right. Sometimes you just got to do dumb things to realize that they're dumb and then laugh at yourself later. Next question is from Bob. He says, does anybody else think that the water tube coming out of the CPU block should go into the ones in the rads instead of directly into the GPU block? Or am I seeing the loop incorrectly? Well, Bob, I'm pretty sure it was Steve from Gamers Nexus who did some testing on this. And it's all about the overall ambient temperature of the water, not where the loop directly connects to. In his testing, he noted that it was only a difference of maybe 1 or 2 degrees Celsius, depending on how you ran your loop, if you're running from CPU to GPU or vice versa. Considering I'm running a 420 and a 360 rad in that loop with tons of fans and only a 5950 and a 3090, the temperatures are well under control. So messing around with what tube goes where just wouldn't have any major benefits to me. Next question is from Tall One. I'm surprised you didn't go for the EK active backplate for the 3090. Me too. Actually, Tall One, I really did want the active backplate because in my experience with the 3090, the VRAM on the back just did not keep cool. I did everything I could, replacing thermal pads, adding fans, everything I could because I was using it for mining. Well, I still am using it for mining. However, when I bought the water cooling parts for the 3090 for the specific model that I had, an active backplate was not available. What I can say though is that doing the water cooling and having the new nickel backplate drastically dropped the temperatures of the VRAM, and it's really no longer an issue for me. I mean, as it sits right now when I mine, my temperatures are around 82 degrees. compared to 100 to 110 degrees that they were in the mining rig. So while I would like an active backplate, I don't really think it matters right now. Next question is from Funny Noodle. Hey Jason, can we expect a network update video for 2021? Well, Funny Noodle, yes. My networking experience is not done. It just got put on pause. Basically, I have 3 access points from UniFi in my house right now, one of which is mounted properly. The other 2 are placed randomly on top of things. I still need to run cables in order to mount these access points properly. Also, I want to get a UniFi 10 gig switch and a couple other things. I just haven't done it yet. However, finishing up my network is high on the list after I review a couple UniFi cameras, and I'm gonna add that to my UDM Pro, see how the whole UDM, video system works on the UDM Pro with UniFi cameras, and then hopefully finish setting up my network. Oh, and I want to replace the PoE switch that I have in my attic as well. It's a whole nother project for that. Next question is from Randy. I'm sorry, did I miss something? Is that cat taking the place of the dog we're supposed to be getting? Well, Randy, welcome to the new part of my family. Her name is Luna. And before I introduce her, I want to tell you a story of how Luna came to be. Where I work, we had a job site. This job site, a bunch of construction workers doing things, and for about a week, there was a stray dog. Now, this stray dog, super nice. Blue heeler, probably purebred, maybe mixed slightly with something else, don't really know for sure, was periodically fed scraps and watered and things like that while they're working on the job site. They actively tried to find the owner, including talking to local property managers and homeowners around the area, but after about a week, they were unable to find who owned the dog. So the owner of the company that I work for, my cousin, was out on the job site, was explained all this that went down with the dog, and was told if they can't find the owner or find a owner for the dog, they were going to have to call the pound. So of course my cousin brought the dog back, and I agreed to take it in because I really wanted a dog, and this dog seems really nice, really trained, and not too old. So meet Luna. Luna, hi. Hi, how you doing? Yes, you're good, puppy. Yes, you are. You want to give me a kiss? No, you should do. This is Luna. She's extremely loyal. She's very well trained. She knows how to do things like heel and sit and come, leave things alone, stuff like that. I really feel like somebody put a lot of time and a lot of effort into training her. I took her down to the local vet. I had her check for a chip, no chip. So I'm going to take care of her from now on. Sometimes I feel really bad because she's such a good dog and she's so loyal, but she's just amazing. She is essentially my shadow because she always wants to be around me. She probably gets a little bit of separation anxiety anytime I leave the room. And now I take her everywhere I can, including to work. So, yeah. You're so good boy. Your breath stinks. You're nasty. You want to do a thumbnail? Thumbnail. Oh, good. She literally licked my tongue. Jump up! Jump up! Jump up! Jump up! There we go. You're such a good girl. Yes, you are. Ugh. Next question is from Jonathan. How do you find out how many streams you are able to transcode on your server? I have looked at the CPU scores, but not sure since I run other apps on the same server. I wasn't sure if there was an actual test. Well, Jonathan, this has evolved and changed over the years for me when I'm testing transcodes. Back in the day, it was a lot easier when you're only getting 7, 10, something like that. You just open up a few browser windows and you keep going until it fails. Nowadays, I'm testing things like Intel QuickSync that can transcode, 30 or maybe 35 different transcodes at the same time. And when you have to test that many in order to get accurate results, you really need enough clients that are independent of each other to make sure that your bottleneck is not the computer that you're using to test, i.e. the web browsers or something like that. Okay, you can't go on the table, so you gotta go down now. Sit. Good girl. Last time I tested 30 plus streams on transcoding, I essentially created 30 different profiles on my computer. And then I installed the Plex media player, and then I right clicked on them and I ran them under each user independently. So I had 30 to 40 different instances of the Plex media player. The reasons why I did this is because Plex Media Player won't run in 2 instances unless it's running underneath a different user, and the Plex Media Player seemed the most stable when it came to running multiple instances all at the same time. Your only other option is going to be hooking up Wi-Fi tablets, or running a bunch of different Plex clients, or running different browsers, things like that. It's pretty much really complicated. And at the point where we're at now, when you have 30 to 40 different transcodes at the same time, it's almost not worth it. Unless you're talking about 4K, and you can hit 4K limits a lot faster than you can 1080p. And that is the final question for the day. So guys, if you have any questions or comments that you want to have the best chance of being featured in next month's Jason Bytes Back, please leave those in the comments down below. Once again, this video is brought to you by my awesome Patreon subscribers, the $5 and $10 of which would be listed at the end of this video. Once again, this video is brought to you by my awesome Patreon subscribers, the $5 and $10 of which would be listed at the end of this video. So thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe below, and have yourself a great day. Hey, what are you chewing? What are you chewing? What is that? What is that? Come here. What is that? No, no, no. What is this? This is styrofoam. You don't eat styrofoam. This is bad, okay? You don't eat that. I need to pick that up, because if I was a dog, I'd probably try to eat that too. You're such a good girl. Yes, your breath stinks. Try to give you the little chewy thingy, but you know, you didn't want it. I need to brush your teeth. You should do. You should do. You need to brush your teeth. Oh my God. Mama's home. Mama's home. Oh, what are you gonna do? Mama's home. Oh, what are you gonna do? You here? Okay. Okay. No. You're done. You're done. Go see Mom. Go claw her face. Just kidding. Don't do that.